Hello and welcome to a new edition of Nile Cruise, a new Friday night and a very busy day indeed. Today we're commemorating Orphans Day, the very first Friday of every month of April. We're celebrating this very important segment of our society, the orphans, the children who have lost their parents and are living alone, but not really, because on that particular day we're all together surrounding them, making different celebrations here and there, everywhere throughout Egypt. Also on the political scale there are so many new developments, because today former Vice President Omar Suleiman has announced that he is going to submit his candidacy for the presidential race. Also today Ayman Noor, the presidential hopeful, has already submitted his papers with the support of the backers to also get into that race of the presidency. A lot of new developments, and of course the one thing that is so special about this 6th of April in particular is that it is the commemoration of that youth movement that started off back in the year 2008 to support Al-Mahalla Al-Kubra strikes, worker strikes over there. So it is a busy day, but we'll start it off first with a light song. What or how do we want him in reference to the upcoming president?
عايزينه ايه؟ عايزينه مين؟ عايزينه واحد مننا، ونقول له ليه؟ ونقول له فين؟ من ايه نخاف ده حقنا؟ عايزين رئيس يكون حسيس ونكون أجندة حكم بعض، ما يبقاش بلده بالرخيص، ما يسيبش فينا خسيس. لازم يكون مصري قوي وما يمشيناش حكم القوي. عايزينه يبقى رغيف وحوت، عايزينه من الآخر يقف قبل الغلابة بالبيوت، ما يعيش للكرسي وبس. لازم يكون مصري قوي وما يمشيهاش حكم القوي. عايزينه
Welcome once again. I guess this song is very pertinent to the segment we're going to discuss right now. You've seen pictures or photos of so many presidential candidates who've come to the picture recently, coming to compete in the presidential race for the very first president after the January 25th revolution. And like we've seen, there is people covering all spectrums of the political life, Islamic movements as well. And like we've hinted at the beginning of this edition of the program, a new surprise happened today that former Vice President Omar Suleiman decided to get into that race after just last Wednesday. He presented an announcement saying that he's excusing himself from the post because of the so many developments that have been happening recently on the political scene of Egypt. Joining us tonight to further discuss those issues and hopefully have a more enlightful analysis of them is Dr. Adly Hassanein, the international expert in democracy and good governance and the UN Regional Consultant for Sustainable Development Programs. Thank you very much for being with us tonight.
Pleasure to be here.
It's indeed our honor, sir. So, Doctor, I guess the obvious question is the surprise that was blown today. Omar Suleiman back to the race and into that very busy stage. How do you read this move, this announcement today, when just last Wednesday he said he's not going to get into that because of the developments in the country in general?
I think it's not a surprise, and I think we will see more surprises very soon. It is to complete the picture of anarchy in Egypt. I don't think that what's happening reflects really democratic education or even basic democratic knowledge. He was the vice president under Mubarak, and everybody knows from the beginning that we cannot select somebody from the old regime, especially his right-hand man. And he is the one who was negotiating with Israel all the time. He spent more time negotiating with the Israelis regarding the Palestinians and regarding Gaza than taking care of the country, where the country was in a complete chaotic situation. So, and I can't believe that he's running, but this is Egypt, full of surprises. But I don't think that he has a chance. Even if some people say that because he's military, I think because he's military, nobody wants any military anymore to be a state in Egypt after 3 military presidents, one after the other. And we reached the point where our people are tremendously suffering for their daily life, and we have absolutely no hope in a military president to take care of the country.
But then how would you describe the crowds of people who've gathered today in Abbathia Square in support of Suleiman? We've also seen it in certain governorates across Egypt. And this is not only with that particular man who belongs to the old regime. The same happened with Ahmed Shafi as well. Amr Moussa sometimes.
I don't think that you win by noise, and I don't think that by gathering few people to upload and use the tabla, you're going to win. I think Egyptians are very clever, and I think when time comes, they will select the best. I think either it is just a coup prepared by the junta in Egypt. They want just to put somebody on their side because the Muslim Brotherhood put somebody else, and so they wanted to create this kind of balance. But I don't think that any of them will win. I am quite sure because they have absolutely no program. Omar Suleiman's program is the old one. Omar Suleiman's history is Secret Service. He never talked to anybody. Nobody knew what he was doing for Egypt or against Egypt. So I have absolutely no trust in his presentation or running for president. And then you have Ahmed Shafi. What is his experience? Being minister under
of civil aviation, having brought up the many changes and upgrading of the Egyptian airport.
Anybody can do airports. Airports doesn't mean that you can be a president of a country like this. This is a country of huge potential, acted for a long time, and even if we think about what somebody did under Mubarak is a glory, I don't think so, because the economy collapsed fast, and the social life is disintegrated, and people are suffering for daily life. I don't think that Ahmed Shafi has any experience to show. I would rather have somebody with no experience at all, so at least present a white page, a clean person to do something.
So what are the criteria, in your opinion, Doctor, for the next president of Egypt, the president after the revolution?
The criteria is very important. Number one, you need somebody charismatic, accepted by the majority of people, not because of his looks or his past or his experience. It's because of the hope he can present and he can give to the people. And I didn't see any one of those is giving any hope to anybody.
Anyone in the presidential race today?
Probably to a certain degree, I can say somebody is doing a great job right now is Abdelmenem Abul Futuh. He's doing an excellent job. He's going out there, students reaching universities, reaching workers, and he's working with these people, and he's not making the same noise as everybody else. And so the second thing, we need somebody that we can trust his honesty and his capability of saying one thing and do the same thing, but not to say something and do something different, as we can see.
Okay, touching on that point in particular, actually, and of course in reference to the Muslim Brotherhood, who've announced that they will not nominate any presidential candidate, but then came up last week with Khairat al-Shatir, the engineer and business tycoon. What is the impact of this man coming on the presidential race and stage in general on the overall outcome of the elections?
Well, I think it's a mistake. The impact will be a complete disintegration of the Islamic votes or political Islam votes. Some people are going to vote for him. New generation in the Muslim Brotherhood, they are not going to vote for him, that's for sure. And what we have to understand, voting is secret. It doesn't matter if you tell me vote for this or for that. When you go, you use your brain and you use your conscience and you vote for the person you feel he's the best. And I don't think that it's good to have him in the race, because he has absolutely no history of any kind of charismatic figure. He didn't do anything to the country. He was a businessman. He got caught in certain problems. He doesn't represent me or represent everybody. He represents, like, even if we think about it, less than 50% of the shura of the big guys. I mean, they didn't even consult with the base or the population of Muslim Brotherhood. They just got together and they did it.
It's true, there were a lot of divisions among the movement itself.
Absolutely.
When the announcement was made. But still, I mean, the day when he went to actually submit his papers or actually put, withdraw the application, there were huge numbers of Muslim Brotherhood supporters who were there to greet him as well. And it also reflects the mood on the street, don't you think?
I think it is not the mood in the street. It's just Egyptians' plan. I mean, it's a system of tribe. This is your tribe, this is my tribe, they come and support me. If you get somebody else tomorrow, Ahmed Shafi'i wants to get 100,000, he'll get 100,000 behind him, but doesn't mean anything. We have more than 60 million voters in Egypt, and I don't think that having few people, I just looked at Google Earth before coming, and I wanted to take a picture of Tahrir and a picture of Abbasiyah. It's a joke. What's in Abbasiyah is less than, probably the maximum was there like 2,000 to 3,000 people. Compared to Tahrir, you have close to 200,000 people. So, because even the place itself. So, but when you take your camera and you put it on a certain angle, you make sure you make it look like big, but it's not. And so Abbasiyah has a bad history and a bad taste also. So let's tell Egyptian people, it is time to take action. It's time to take your life in your hand. Don't vote for any military anymore. We had enough of them. They never succeeded worldwide, not a single one. And don't vote for anybody who's only dividing the country to conquer everything. They wanted to take the National Assembly, they wanted to take Shura, they wanted to take the writing the Constitution, and now they want to take the presidency. This is really more than a catastrophe for Egypt and even for the Muslim Brotherhood. I think they have to be very careful because, and the people of Egypt has been very careful. It took us more than 60 years to get rid of dictatorship in this country. It might take us more than 100 years to get rid of the Muslim Brotherhood.
Well, assuming that hopefully the Egyptians have learned their lesson from backing, the Muslims or the Islamist movements in general, let's not call them Muslims per se, and they chose a president that is balanced, hopefully, and would take Egypt into a better stage. What do you think should be on the top priority on the agenda of the next president?
I think the top priority, we have more than 18 million young people without jobs, and they need jobs. That's a priority. The level of poverty in the country, poverty is very high. We're probably close to 60% under the poverty line based on UN system. The third one, he has to take care of cleaning the country. The country is rubbish. It's full of dirt. I mean, at least we have no place that is not invaded by solid waste, liquid waste, and human waste. People are doing a terrible job to their country. We need to clean this country. Face of Egypt to look beautiful as it was before the revolution of 52, not only before Mubarak, before the revolution of 52. So that's the third. Number four, he has to really pay attention to education, and stop nagging and working on Sanawiyya Amma. It does not advance the country. We need to look at the foundation of education. We need to subsidize education and not subsidize the rich and subsidize gasoline and no, we need to subsidize education. Kids should go to university not afraid to be out because they don't have money. They should be able to guarantee the kids a good place, and we should change. We should not look always down. We should look up. We need to get the start. We need to reconcile ourselves with the future. We're still working with the past and with the present. Nobody came out with a beautiful picture of future. Can you imagine when I hear one of the candidates, he's going to give everybody 5 fidans. Where do you get these fidans? We don't have them. Even if we have them, we don't have enough water. I mean, the basic, the foundation of the country, they have to come with a sustainable development plan. A plan that looks for 7 generations ahead, but not a plan that is based on 5 years plan. In addition, we should not go back like the dinosaur life, where we have a current government with a prime minister who's thinking like the dinosaurs, old style, old stick, and they don't know that the young people are not willing to give up their future anymore. So I think there's some solid things for the president, and one of it is to govern the entire country and not to be the representative of one group or the other. We have to adopt democracy as it is worldwide. When you become a president, you're president of all the people. You represent all of them, but not a president that's chosen by a clan or a tribe.
A selected few. Okay, I want to touch upon the very important things you've mentioned. Of course, the idea of sustainable development is one of the major things. You've said that the top priority of any president today should be, creating new job opportunities for the youth. And since you are an expert and consultant on sustainable development, what do you think could be in both, in the interest of the youth and in the interest of the sustainable development of our country, not something like a service economy or something that is short-term?
Well, also we have to start to understand that numbers are important, but they are not important without quality. So if you can say, I'm going to create 500,000 jobs in my first year as a president, I tell you what kind of jobs you're going to create. You have to create jobs for the white collar and jobs for the blue collar. You have to create for the intellectual and for the workers, so that the country will be jobs by sending 100,000 people to Libya. That's not creating a job. You're exporting the misery. So what we need now for sustainability is to think ahead and to understand that we have natural resources in this country, we have human resources in this country. They are underemployed and wrongly employed. We have to put them all together and say, example, we have 5 or 8 million acres of agricultural land. I should keep this agricultural land for the new generation and increase it. But what's happening is against sustainability. You take the agricultural land, make it for construction, so we lose our independence, because one of the major issue for a president, the next president, again, food security. You have to feed the population. You cannot feed them by importing. You have to feed them by producing. And if our agricultural land that we inherited from our pharaohs is gone, we're going to go downhill, because nobody can support us, because we cannot feed 80 million people with 5 million acres. We need to feed them with 10 million acres. Sustainability is to use the resources that we have in Egypt today and plan for it to give satisfaction to the current population under one condition: to keep it intact or to increase it for the next generation. That's the difference. Like if you wanted to have, you have 10 trees, you want to cut 5, please put 5 back or put 10 back, so that the new generation have the same like you had and have more.
To sustain what we already
Absolutely,
have.
that's sustainability.
Indeed. Well, we definitely hope that the upcoming president of Egypt would take this into account and hopefully keep Egypt hopefully prosperous as it used to be. Dr. Adly Hassanein, the international expert in democracy and good governance and UN regional consultant for sustainable development programs, thank you very much for being with us.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
And right now we're going to go over a quick review of the history of revolutions in Egypt. Reem Noor has attended recent day conference that was held at the Cairo Opera House. Let's check out what she has in store.